Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Cuban boxer Erislandy Lara has a message for ESPN's Dan Rafael. Stay tuned. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo, and the Patreon family. We are working. Now, I was scrolling on my timeline, seeing this. Erislandy Lara on his verified Twitter account, he responded to a Dan Rafael of ESPN tweet. Dan Rafael says, a Saunders boxing lesson in round 1, hashtag Saunders Lemieux, hashtag boxing. And Lara replied to that. He says, either he's a racist or he's just a hater. ESPN should be ashamed to have biased and racist fans writing for them. So clearly he's getting at Dan Rafael and saying, I don't know what it is, but either you're a hater or you're a racist. I want to talk about it. Bottom line is this, new media is here. I told y'all, believe in it like Death Row East. Believe in that. We killing. Shout out to Billy Joe Saunders on a tremendous performance. Now, let me clear the air because some people aren't going to understand it. Or some people, I don't even think that they don't understand it. They don't want to understand what's being said. So maybe I could do my best job to clear it up real quick. The whole premise is this. Billy Joe Saunders did nothing wrong. In fact, he dominated David Lemieux. Dominated him. Lomachenko beat the shit out of Rigondeaux, forced him to quit. He beat him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The thing about it is this. Why people like Lara, people like new media, people like myself are pointing out these discrepancies is because when certain fighters, and HBO does this too with their commentary, when certain fighters do similar things to what other fighters are doing, other minorities, other black fighters or whatnot, they're not getting the same level of praise for it. That's the problem. Again, Billy Joe Saunders, Lomachenko, they've done nothing wrong in their last performances. They killed it. You know what I mean? They went out there, handled business against what was perceived to be at least some level of what was supposed to be some level of challenge, and they dominated those challenges. Props to them. But the problem is people like Dan Rafael and ESPN, they're quick to point out those Billy Joe Saunders, a supreme boxing clinic, right? But when you watch Andre Ward, it's never the same thing. It's, Andre Ward, this fight was the worst piece of sewage, the worst fight I've ever watched in my entire career of covering boxing. When Floyd Mayweather, we know how HBO and ESPN habitually treats Floyd Mayweather. To this day, you got Dan Rafael, who's comparing a guy with 11 fights and a loss to a legend in Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather, saying, the version of Lomachenko that we just seen beat a guy 2 divisions under him who moved up and is 37. This version of Lomachenko, now that version would beat the hell out of Floyd, maybe even beat him, possibly even beat him, right? So it's just like, where are those same P's in those respects when Terrence Crawford has been dogging dudes in his division? Some of those guys, Victor Postal and Julius Ndongo, both champions, bigger than Terrence Crawford. So why aren't you saying the version of Terrence Crawford that just showed up and dogged Victor Postal and knocked him down several times, or the version that stopped big-ass Julius Ndongo in the 3rd round with a vicious body shot, would beat the hell out of Pacquiao and if not beat him? You know what I'm saying? That's the whole stigma. Same thing with Erislandy, Lara, and Rigo. When they box, it sucks, it's boring, nobody wants to watch this. I put my kids to bed with Rigo tapes and Erislandy tapes, and you're not only not praising or not respecting their skill and their sweet science, you're actually going above and beyond in order to just really slander them and bring down their market value. You know what I'm saying? Now, here, I know I've been doing this long enough, so I'm gonna tell you a common theme of the detractors who are gonna all of a sudden disagree. I'm gonna tell you 2 of them. One, they're gonna say, stop bringing race into boxing. Nope. Stop clicking on videos with certain topics if you don't want to hear about them. You know what I mean? You don't control anything on my channel. So if you don't like the content, then you can't stop it. Oh well. Don't. You hit your dislike and then keep it pushing or whatever you have to do. But people feel intimidated and uncomfortable with race, and it's a real life topic. You know what I mean? It's stuff that goes on. So I'm not sweeping under the rug for stuff I see clear as day. That's one thing. They'll tell you to stop talking about it, or ego, you're race baiting. They're not going to prove you wrong and give you examples, countless examples. They're going to say stop talking about it, or you're race baiting, or try to flip it and say I'm racist or whatever the case is. That's one tactic. Now, tactic number 2 is they'll say, oh, but Lara and Rigondeaux, they are boring. They are boring. But how come I can give you a slew of different names? Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford, and I have yet to see ESPN go above and beyond in the same way, the same fashion they just did with Lomachenko, and give praise to like Billy Joe Saunders. Even if you listen to Saunders Lemieux, the HBO telecast, there was no complaints. Just listen to what people say. Everyone, okay, Jim, Billy Joe Saunders, he's just boxing him beautifully. You know what I mean? So it's all of a sudden it's beautiful boxing. But you had the best boxer of all time, of this generation definitely, in Floyd Mayweather on your network, and you were constantly like razzing him and talking about his performances and, you know what I mean, downgrading him. So that's the point. You know what I mean? So don't just come up with, I agree, Lara sometimes he gets a little bit complacent where he could throw more offense, but he's still boxing, right? But don't just bring up the guys who throw the least amount, him and Rigondeaux. What about Mayweather? You know what I mean? When Mayweather was 36, 37 and he beat a guy who was undefeated and a champion bigger than him, 23-year-old Canelo Alvarez, he schooled him. He actually did the Billy Joe Saunders before Billy Joe Saunders. Canelo missed and punched him to the ropes, and he's all looking out to the sunset. So once again, when Billy Joe Saunders does it, it's all good. But when Mayweather schooled up Canelo, right? Schooled him up. And see, this is the thing. Mayweather was older than Canelo. He was outweighed by Canelo, even at a catchweight, etc. David Lemieux and Billy Joe Saunders looked about the same size, and Lemieux's been stopped 2 times by Triple G and also Marco Antonio Rubio, and he has a 3rd loss to Hoshim Alcine. But once again, people like me, I give respect to Billy Joe Saunders. Go listen to my stream post-fight. I gave him nothing but props and said, wow, I'm very, very impressed. Go look at my tweets. That's the whole thing. New media is killing you boys because we're keeping it fair, keeping it consistent. Billy Joe Saunders, he gets all the props in the world. But the thing is, I don't have a problem when he boxes and elects to box. And then I have a problem when Mayweather does it. That's what we're talking about here. You know what I mean? That's the hypocrisy. That's the double standards here. Is when you have a problem when guy A does it, but guy B does it. And not only do you have a problem when guy A does it, you rag on him for doing it. And then guy B does it, and then you praise him for it. That's the problem. And that's the hypocrisy in boxing. So, I mean, I don't blame Erislandy Lara. He said either you're a hater or you're a racist. I mean, it's looking like one of those 2 options. Because how can you give a guy props? Like, let's say I hate power punchers and aggressive guys, which I don't. I love all of boxing, right? And then I get mad at Golovkin, and then I praise Ruslan Provodnikov for applying pressure and throwing hard shots. It just wouldn't make sense, would it? You know what I mean? So this is the problem, and this is the problem we're going to keep addressing. Again, if people don't like it, then stay off the channel. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I keep growing, and it is what it is. Like I said, the whole topic makes people sensitive and uncomfortable, and that's a good thing. To me, it's good because you're not going to just sweep this under the rug like we don't see it. You know what I mean? And we can go deeper. Like Dan Rafael blocked Guillermo Rigondeaux. This is before Lomachenko beat him, so it's not like you blocked him because he quit and you were so disgusted. You blocked him way before. That's why these fighters, you know what I mean, they probably resonate with these YouTube channels a lot more, because a lot of these YouTubers started off as just pure fans. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I went to school, got a degree, and I'm a writer and stuff. And it's just the fanboyism is disgusting. If you're gonna give one person credit, if it's right for one, then it's right for the bunch, and that's how it should be in boxing. You shouldn't praise Billy Joe Saunders, but then when Floyd Mayweather whips up Canelo, you're making different reasons and not giving him props and talking about, oh, he should move up to middleweight and fight Golovkin. Then why don't you say Billy Joe Saunders needs to move up to 75 and then fight one of the top punchers there? You know what I'm saying? It's just the standard is set so different. So shout out to Erislandy Lara speaking his mind. We'll talk more about the subject, and we'll probably do a live stream, because that's where I could really get guys, because you might see some dumb comments here, and I can't really respond to every single comment, but we do have the hot seat with the live stream, so we'll probably do that. But don't just tell me about Lara and Rigondeaux being boring. Explain why Terrence Crawford is not getting the same level of praise with 32 fights and just became undisputed. Mayweather has never really got the true respect on HBO or ESPN. Tell me those things. You know what I mean? But when you see someone else box brilliantly, Lomachenko, oh, look at the movement and the finesse. I mean, look at Billy Joe Saunders. I mean, they both did their thing. But like I said, give everybody the credit. If that's what you like, give everyone the credit. You know what I mean? And you'll see that, especially with ESPN and HBO. HBO, when certain people are boxing, it's boring and dreadful, all types of shit. And then other people are boxing, it's a masterclass. It's funny how that works. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.